This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Live look over Charleston, a little shower getting ready to move in down there into parts of Coles County. We are tracking some of this rain. It is nothing severe, but maybe an occasional lightning strike. Let's zoom into this pocket of the area from Douglas County. A little shower there along 36 west of Tuscola. Here's the one there, just kind of on the east side there of Charleston. Other light showers there, Oakland and west of Westfield. All of these showers just kind of hanging out here, a little thin line that has formed, a little axis there from parts of Macon County down through Moultrie, Douglas, Coles, Edgar, and Clark County. So that's what's happening right now. These showers fade away here for tonight. Things are going to start to calm down for us. Attention shifting to the temperatures. Temperatures in the 80s right now. It's all about the heat and humidity in the coming days. We'll talk about when it's going to feel like over 110 coming up. It's WCIA 3 News starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
A former church youth leader is facing charges after police say he had sexual relationships with minors. Good evening, I'm Brandon Morano.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. 31-year-old Jonathan Lyon is accused of having a relationship going back 15 years. Now he's facing charges of criminal sexual abuse. WCIA 3's Will Simmons live in our newsroom. So Will, what led to his arrest?
Jennifer, the investigation started in 2023 when one of Lyon's friends reported his suspicions to police. He was arrested last Wednesday and had his first court appearance Friday. Decatur police say 31-year-old Jonathan Lyon abused victims from the ages of 9 to 17. The investigation started 2 years ago when, according to an affidavit, a friend of Lyon alerted authorities to a Facebook message hinting at an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Officers say the message alleged Lyon, quote, likes little girls. The sworn statement also mentions this wasn't Lyon's first run-in with law enforcement. Police say one of the victims, between the age of 12 to 14, was in a parked car with Lyons when officers came up to their window. Police say Lyons told officers he was a youth leader and the two were discussing the Word of God. Clinton police were also alerted to suspicious behavior in a vehicle in 2022. The affidavit says Lyon was let go from his youth leader position at Grace Baptist Church in Decatur after a pastor found inappropriate videos on Lyon's TikTok account. Lyon appeared in court Friday for his arraignment and was released on conditions. He has to appear at his next court date, not violate the law, comply with GPS tracking, and he cannot contact any alleged victims. Lyon's next court date is scheduled for August 22nd. We have more details on the affidavit on our website, WCIA.com. Live in the newsroom, Will Simmons, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, well, thank you so much.
2 men have been arrested this month in Urbana after police say they were caught with guns as felons. The most recent was this morning. Police say they got a report of a man waving a gun on Hill Street near North Harvey. Officers and Champaign County Sheriff's deputies found the suspect, a 45-year-old Urbana man. Police say a gun was found partially concealed. Authorities did not say what charges he's facing. The other happened in on July 3rd, during a traffic stop of a suspicious vehicle at Hunter Street and Learman Avenue. Officers found open alcohol and a gun under the driver's seat. A 26-year-old Urbana man is facing several charges and had 2 outstanding warrants. He was also ticketed for driving on a suspended license. Champaign County Crime Stoppers need your help with car break-ins at the U of I. Between May and July, people have had cars broken into in the Orchard Downs area in Urbana. Officials say suspects are trying to steal the cars and were successful once. These suspects were caught on camera. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers to submit an anonymous tip. We have that number on our website, WCIA.com. President Trump took to his social media platform, Truth Social, today, calling for the end of cashless bail.
WCIA 3 Capitol reporter Danny Connolly talked to an advocate for Illinois' Pretrial Fairness Act to see if that would put state law in jeopardy.
Crime in American cities started to significantly rise when they went to cashless bail. It is a complete disaster and must be ended immediately. That's what President Donald Trump said on social media. Illinois was the first state to end cash bail almost 2 years ago. Ben Riddell, the director for criminal justice policy of the Illinois ACLU, disagrees and says the law is helping reduce crime.
It was misguided from the beginning to be premising people's pretrial freedom on how much money they happen to be able to come up with. It's a much better system to make those decisions based on the judge's determination of actual risk to public safety or the actual risk that somebody will willfully fail to appear in court.
Riddell adds Trump also can't dictate state laws.
Illinois' pretrial policy is set by the Illinois state legislature, who, decided a few years ago that this was the direction our state was going to move in, and the president has no role in that.
The Senate sponsor of the Safety Act, Democrat Robert Peters, also took to social media criticizing the president for cutting violence prevention programs and pardoning people who stormed the Capitol. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Danny Connolly.
Now, Illinois Republicans have criticized the Safety Act. They point to a man who's accused of hiding the body of a northern Illinois woman and then was released under the system. In a statement, Representative Patrick Sheehan said, quote, Illinois law has stripped law enforcement of critical tools, tied the hands of officers, and prioritized criminals over victims. That suspect was detained by ICE over the weekend. The president's spending bill may bring back a state program that expired. The Invest in Kids Act let donors count donations to private school scholarships as a tax credit. It was in effect from 2018 to 2023. Now states can opt into a federal program. It allows for up to a $1,700 donation to a scholarship organization count for taxes. 35 other states have already opted into the program.
The city of Danville is looking to buy new security cameras. We'll tell you where you can expect an increased presence.
Plus, Central Illinois homeless shelters are feeling the heat and reaching capacity. What organizations are doing with emergency overflow.
All right, we're really going to be feeling it here in a couple days.
We are indeed. The heat and humidity about to crank right now, though, falling from the sky, some rain. You can see it on our camera in Charleston. A few little showers rolling through down that way and a handful of other spots, but good news is nothing severe like we had about 24 hours ago. All right, the latest on that heat and humidity, and how warm it's going to get when we come back.
A big week on Cuomo. Tonight, journalist Matt Taibbi on Tulsi Gabbard's bombshell allegations against the Obama administration. Then tomorrow, Stephen A. Smith. And don't miss the one and only Bill O'Reilly on Wednesday. Cuomo, starting tonight at 8/7 Central on News Nation. To find News Nation, go to newsnationnow.com.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
So watching the rain here down into Coles County, a few showers showing up down there. As we take a look at what the view is on the Storm Tracker Doppler, you're noticing there are huge chunks of areas that don't have anything at all. And I heard that a lot from this past weekend, why some of our folks down here in Fayette County had almost 10 inches of rain last night. You go to the north, and I had someone message me, well, Muhammad didn't get anything at all. And that, again, is the nature to this. Yes, it's not equal. Weather is not equal, if you didn't know already. We're going to have these scattered showers still hanging around here for tonight. And here we go. Let's see who's the lucky ones getting the rainfall right now along Highway 36. East of Atwood, little shower there. Another one that is just right between Tuscola and Arcola, sitting right on top of Highway 45. Then we go a little bit to the south and east of that, and there's the one we were showing you in Charleston. A little shower there towards the oil field area. And south of Grandview, another one southeast of Oakland. So again, the randomness to these showers still around here through tonight. These are kind of diving to the south and east, and so are other parts of Coles County there, parts of Moultrie County may get in on this as we go throughout the course of this evening. But notice by 9:30, these showers fading away, and we'll be done with the rain. Actually, a little bit of a break from the rain over the next few days, it looks like. Temperature-wise, up to 81 in Champaign, 86 in Springfield, 83 in Decatur. I mean, it's only 79 degrees in Pontiac and Bloomington. We'll take that, especially compared to what's coming our way. Temperatures through tonight, back down to those low 70s to start out tomorrow. But here comes the heat and humidity. Our dew point numbers, we use that gauge. This is common. We've had this for about a month. Dew points in the low and mid 70s. But now we're going to see something we have not seen this entire year. And I'd have to go back and look to see if we even got this high last year. But the dew point number on Wednesday and Thursday, at the very least, probably 80 degrees. And so that is kind of maxing our chart there. Just disgusting kind of weather. When you walk outside, air you can wear, it's like putting on another layer of clothing. You walk out, immediately start to sweat. Excessive heat watches and soon warnings. They've already got a warning down into the St. Louis metro area, but I expect this to change to a warning here in the coming days because of this. Heat index values tomorrow, 95 to 100. So we're just starting to kind of turn the corner there, but it's really Wednesday and Thursday when we kick this thing into high gear, and we're talking 110 to 115 for those heat index values over the next few days. So just got to keep that in mind. It is going to be quite hot, and all of it with a big ridge of high pressure that is literally driving all of this. It's called a heat dome, and it's centered perfectly to where we get all of this heat and humidity right over the top of us over the next few days. How about rain chances? Well, they're going to go back up by the end of the week. I think we see a lull in the precip. Now, could there be that little pop-up stray shower? Definitely a possibility, but more organized activity arrives later Friday and into the day on Saturday. 67 for tonight, a stray shower or two. Patchy fog may develop, a high tomorrow of 89 degrees, mainly dry, maybe a stray storm or two, but for the most part, we're going to just leave the icons as rain-free and just focus on the heat and humidity, and you're going to feel it. 80-degree dew points. We don't see that very often. It'll be interesting to see that pop up on the weather map, and that will, again, allow for those heat index values to climb as high as 110, 115. We actually, on average, get 110 degrees 1 to 3 times a year.
Can I say you've been talking about hitting this, we're never in this 80-degree dew point, that I'm almost kind of, ooh.
Yeah, what's it gonna feel like?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's gonna be
terrible, but I kind of want to say.
Yeah. You're about to know, so yeah.
All right. I'll be regretting anything I just said come Wednesday. All right. A Central Illinois YMCA is gearing up for their annual recycling program. How you can help out.
And it's been almost a month that a Central Illinois teenager died in a shooting. How her family is adjusting while seeking justice.
news leader. Jennifer Roscoe, Brandon Morano. Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Glenn Kinley on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 6.
The homeless are facing dangerous living conditions as extreme heat week is back.
So Champaign-Urbana organizations are hoping to help this week. All week long, emergency shelters at the Prospect Avenue Salvation Army in Champaign are open. The shelter has 50 cots and showers and will provide limited meals. The Housing Authority of Champaign County says people can access this shelter by going to strides between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Then between 7 and 10 p.m. people would check in. For more information and ways you can help, visit our website, WCIA.com.
And the Salvation Army Emergency Shelter is not the only place you can escape the heat. The Champaign County Emergency Management Agency has set up cooling centers in several locations, including the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District, Marketplace Mall, Rantoul Police Department, and more. The CUPHD location is kid-friendly and offers free breakfast and lunch to those under 18. Officials hope these centers will prevent any heat-related illness this week.
All right, preseason polls are out.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit of football. It's exciting. I'm trying to figure out when's the last time Illinois was ranked this high. Or
Been a while.
I saw where we landed, and I thought the same exact thing.
It's tricky to figure out because the rankings used to be split, Big Ten West, Big Ten East. But I can tell you they're ranked ahead of Michigan. I'm telling you that hasn't happened in a long time. We will give you that top 5, which Illinois is in, and more after the break.
official television station of Illini Sports. This is WCIA 3 Sports and CEFCU, your Illini Nation.
All right, we got the Big Ten preseason football media poll today, released by Cleveland.com. The Orange and Blue picked to finish 4th in the league. Penn State, your preseason pick to win the conference. Ohio State follows them, Oregon after that, and then the Illini, the good company of 3 playoff teams from last year. Michigan picked to finish 5th. Purdue, in case you were wondering, picked to finish last. What a jump after Illinois was picked to finish 13th in the preseason poll a year ago. Now the Illini return a majority of their starters from a 10-win roster, and we are less than 6 weeks out from that season opener against Western Michigan. That's Friday, August 29th. We've got the full 17-team preseason ranking on our website, WCIA.com. Speaking of Illini football, St. Thomas More High School was host to a youth football camp yesterday, hosted by none other than Luke Altmaier, and a huge reason for that preseason top 5 pick, it would be Altmaier. The returning QB not alone, though. Incoming transfer wideout Justin Bowick showed up to assist. And we talked to the former Ball State and EIU pass catcher about how things are going for him so far in Champaign.
It's been pretty smooth, pretty easy. The team has been welcome arms ever since I've been here, and it's been fun. I know we can't get too high over the, the noise, but just keep going and, try to prove everybody right and wrong at the same time. I hope to just, help my team out this fall and have a great season.
Illini AD Josh Whitman also made an appearance, and Bowick says Luke has been a great resource for him as he gets familiar with the area and the playbook. In case you missed it, Altmaier, offensive lineman J.C. Davis, and defensive back Xavier Scott are now in Las Vegas. Big Ten football media days begins tomorrow. All right, Cubs fans taking 2 of 3 from the Red Sox after Boston had won 10 straight. That's pretty good. But the Brewers have also won 10 straight. It's a tie for the NL Central lead. Also not ideal. You're getting a look at it. Pete Crow Armstrong will not play tonight. The MVP candidate dealing with a bruised right knee after an incident on this slide into third yesterday. Manager Craig Counsell hopes to have PCA back in the lineup tomorrow.
He's got a little injury that's why he's not playing. On one of the slides yesterday, he just banged it up and it woke up and felt a little swollen. So he's not completely sure when it happened, but if you look at the replays, it was likely on that one because that's why it was a blocking the bag situation, because the slide was altered. It's not a normal looking slide.
The Cubs host the Royals for 3 games, starting tonight with a 7:05 first pitch. Cardinals White Sox also in action tonight. We'll have all the highlights at 10.
All right, Glenn.
Thank you so much. A Central Illinois Community Center is pushing forward after a man was shot last week. How the organization is using the tragedy to create improvements.
Plus, the Vermilion County City is looking to buy an old VFW building, what they plan on doing with it when we come back.
Well, looking at some showers here from our Decatur camera, we'll zoom out and you can see the big picture. Little shower there. It's actually southeast of Decatur. You're looking up into that cumulonimbus cloud that is associated with that storm. So what does it look like on radar? We can show you that too. There it is, zooming way down in on that little shower that is right down southeast of Mount Zion. More of those expected through tonight. We'll talk about the heat and humidity in the second half hour.
Construction is beginning on a road in Champaign where you can expect detours the next month.
Plus, it's been almost a month since a shooting killed a Danville teenager. What's in the works to improve safety? Those stories and lots more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6:30.
It has been almost a month since an 18-year-old was shot in Danville.
Anaya Davis was killed at Winter Park in June. WCIA 3's Katie Moore joins us. Katie, you talked to her mom. It's an emotional day for the family. What's happening today?
Brandon, today would have been Anaya's 19th birthday, and tomorrow will mark 1 month since her death. Her case is still unsolved, and her family is pleading for people who may have seen something to call police.
We're just getting on social media, pretty much begging people to come forward.
Anaya Davis was shot and killed in Winter Park in Danville nearly a month ago. A suspect is still yet to be identified. This week, Anaya would have turned 19.
It's been a rough day today.
If a suspect was found, Anaya's mother says justice could be served for her daughter.
It would mean everything to me.
And she could rest knowing
whoever is off the street and can't harm another innocent person.
Police say there were over 300 people at the park that night, and Davis was one of 3 victims. 2 children were also taken to the hospital. Her family continues to ask for any information on the death of their loved one.
If you've seen something, please go to the police department and talk. Just please tell us something. Tell us who shot our daughter.
If you have any tips, you can contact Danville Police Department or Vermilion County Crime Stoppers. Brandon?
All right, Katie, thank you. We talked to the mayor of Danville. He says they had been working on putting cameras in public parks prior to Anaya's death. The shooting expedited that process. Tomorrow night, the Public Works Committee will be talking about putting the cameras in those parks. Now to Decatur for a follow-up. The Old Kings Orchard Community Center is finding ways to move forward after a shooting there last week.
A 21-year-old involved with the center was shot just outside of the building last week. Now administrators are listening to children who go to the programs at the center. And they say the fact that kids showed up the very next day shows the trust they have for their supervisors.
The willingness to return, though, the willingness to not be afraid and trust us at Old Kings Orchard. You know, I don't think there was much that we could have done to stop that because it was an outside incident.
The center's Project Prevent Violence is this weekend. Kids will have a chance to learn about gun safety, go to a Stop the Bleeding seminar, and know their rights when talking to police.
The city of Danville is looking for approval to buy the old VFW building. We'll tell you on how they plan to change the area.
Plus, stay on the lookout for the University YMCA's upcoming recycling program when you can dump and run.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
A building in Vermilion County hasn't been used for nearly a year, and it could be getting a facelift.
It once held Danville's VFW, but the post was dissolved in November because there weren't enough members. The mayor says the building was up for auction, but no bids were accepted. His team has talked to the VFW about buying the building. The mayor wants to be intentional with the kinds of businesses that occupy Main Street. The city's plan for the building will be discussed at tomorrow's Public Services Committee meeting. We asked about the plans for their potential redevelopment, but they were not ready to share. Now to Champaign, a stretch of road will be closed for more than a month. This is Anthony Drive between Dobbins and Campbell, right next to I-74. The city told us IDOT crews will be installing a guardrail, removing a temporary barrier wall, and more. The street will be closed starting tomorrow until the end of August.
The University YMCA at the U of I is getting ready for its annual Dump and Run sale and recycling program. YMCA officials say the event keeps a large amount of reusable items out of landfills each year. They're collecting items between August 4th and the 16th. The big sale is on August 23rd and 24th. Organizers currently in need of volunteers to collect, sort, price, and sell items. For more information, head to our website, WCIA.com.
All right, keep your eyes out. Armadillos are slowly making their way up Illinois.
See them in southern Illinois every now and then.
You do?
You do.
Okay, I kind of want to see one. Where IDNR wants you to be on the lookout.
And Kevin's back to let us know about the intense heat and humidity this week.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
It is muggy out here in the weather garden tonight. Good thing we've got some clouds and the temperature down a little bit, because man, it would feel pretty uncomfortable out here if it wasn't for that. Okay, we've got some rain falling right now. There's a handful of spots. We can take you down into where we showed you that camera shot earlier from Decatur as we look south and east towards Mount Zion, or a little shower showing up there. Also now down towards the Dalton City area, finding some of that moderate rainfall. Other little pockets of rain showing up into parts of Douglas County here and Arcola, east of Atwood into Piatt County, finding a couple little sprinkles or two. Nothing major out of any of this, and these showers will continue just kind of moving to the south and east as we go throughout the course of tonight. Okay, here we go. That is the look at that future track notice. 10 o'clock. Rain is gone, so we won't see much more after tonight. As a matter of fact, we may put together a stretch of a few days in a row where we don't have any precipitation at all. Temperatures are in the 80s, as I mentioned. I mean, this 81 is fantastic. Here in a couple of days, I'm going to be standing out here, and it's going to be in the 90s. It's going to feel like 100 and maybe even still like 105 at the 6 o'clock hour. It is going to be very hot and humid. Temperatures tonight down to the 70s. Dew points, that's the major thing. That's the huge jump we're going to make, is the dew point number. It's at 75 now, gets up to 80. When you're putting this thing at 80 degree dew point values, that is tropical, that is sauna-like, that is swampy, and it is going to be quite muggy here starting really tomorrow, but I'll say Wednesday, Thursday is going to be the peak of all of this. So already excessive heat watches, warnings in effect here. 98, 99, 100 degrees tomorrow, not out of the question. I think Wednesday, though, is that 105, 110, the same thing on Thursday. And it's just going to be that repeated, couple of days in a row, 2-3 days, where you have that heat so strong, the humidity so high, it does take a little bit of a toll on the body. All this, big heat ridge, we call it, okay? Big dome with that high pressure centered to our south, jet stream well to our north that allows for the storm systems to kind of pass along and around us, but then just allow that heat and humidity to crank up in our neck of the woods. So when do the rain chances go back up? Thinking Friday and Saturday. Now, I will not rule out that little pop-up shower tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, but I really think most of those days wind up being dry for the vast majority of us. But Friday and Saturday looks like the rain is going to return. 67 tonight. The other thing to mention, a little bit of patchy fog is a possibility into tomorrow morning. 89 tomorrow with a stray shower, but most of us, it's just the heat and humidity. That 94 and 95. Think about this. We're adding about 15 degrees to that temperature for what it's going to feel like on Wednesday and Thursday, and maybe even a little bit on Friday. It depends upon how quickly that rain gets in here. But boy, it is definitely going to be quite uncomfortable in the weather garden come Wednesday and Thursday out here for us.
That come Wednesday, you were having a little rain shower on your head.
Yeah, little rain on my head. Sorry, I could barely hear you.
Oh, no, that's exactly what I said. You just laugh. It was really funny.
That Jennifer Roscoe is so funny.
All right, thank you.
Good one.
Armadillos are moving north. This
Look at
is
the
not
little
funny.
guy.
This is kind of cute. State natural resource officials are asking people in northern Illinois to report any sightings. They're trying to figure out whether the animals are extending their range northward and if climate change is impacting their habitat. Armadillos don't hibernate and can only live in temperatures above 28 degrees. Officials are also asking people to report any sightings of gray wolves, cougars, and black bears. None of these are native to Illinois, but they are native to some neighboring states and have been known to cross borders in recent years. And if you do see a black bear, let us know too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We want to know and send a camera.
100%. All right, we're going to let you know the top stories coming up.
Plus, all right, you're going to be interested in this story.
Yeah,
A pilot avoided a mid-air collision, what he told passengers after it happened.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
There was another apparent close call in the sky, this time in North Dakota.
A pilot told dozens of passengers on a Delta flight he had to make a, quote, aggressive maneuver to avoid colliding with a B-52 bomber. Chris Van Cleve has the story.
The FAA is working to gather more information about what happened Friday night. We know it was a SkyWest regional jet operating as Delta Connection with about 80 people on board that took an evasive maneuver to avoid a military aircraft, according to the pilot, perhaps a giant B-52 bomber. We don't know how close the two aircraft came, but the pilot was concerned passengers may have been able to see the plane coming at them if they were looking out their window. How do we know that? He made this announcement after the plane safely landed in Minot, North Dakota.
Sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. This is not normal at all. I don't know why they didn't give us a heads up, because the Air Force Base does have radar, and nobody said, hey, there's also a B-52 in the pattern. Long story short, it was not fun, but I do apologize for it, and thank you for understanding.
Pilot received a round of applause from passengers. SkyWest says it is investigating, but stressed the flight landed safely in Minot after being cleared for approach by the tower, but performing a go-around when another aircraft became visible in their flight path. This comes nearly 6 months after an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines regional jet near Washington, D.C., killing 67 people. The Air Force tells CBS News it is now looking into this matter and says a B-52 was operating in the area of Minot Friday night. It was doing a flyover of the North Dakota State Fair. We expect the FAA will launch a more formal investigation, perhaps as soon as today. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Phoenix.
All right, we're going to have a look at what's making headlines in central Illinois,
including what a former Macon County youth church leader is accused of doing with minors.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
Time to take a look at the top local stories of the day. A former Decatur church leader is accused of having sexual relationships with minors. Court records show one started almost 15 years ago, while two other relationships he's accused of have not resulted in charges. A sworn statement filed by Decatur police show 31-year-old Jonathan Lyon was arrested last week. He faces misdemeanors of criminal sexual abuse. The sworn statement says Lyon was a youth leader at Grace Baptist Church, but not affiliated with it when he was arrested. He's been granted pretrial release.
Two men have been arrested this month in Urbana after police say they were caught with guns as felons. Police say this morning a man was waving a gun on Hill Street near North Harvey. Authorities say they found a 45-year-old Urbana man who had a gun partially concealed. Police didn't say what charges he's facing. The other happened July 3rd during a traffic stop at Hunter and Learman. Officers found open alcohol and a gun. A 26-year-old Urbana man is facing several charges and had 2 outstanding warrants.
The One Big Beautiful bill may bring back a state program that previously expired. The Invest in Kids Act is designed to help students whose families can't afford private schools by giving an income tax credit to donors of nonprofits. It was in effect from 2018 to 2023. Now states can opt in to a federal program. And coming up, we're going to let you know what we're working on for our 10 o'clock newscast.
Plus, one final check of your steamy 7-day forecast with Kevin.
Vermilion County Bar is remembering one of its own.
How they are making sure his memory is never forgotten. We'll show you tonight at 10.
7-day forecast. It's all about the heat and humidity here going forward, especially by Wednesday and Thursday. That 94 and 95, we might as well just kind of scrap that number because it's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like 110 degrees on both of those days. So get ready for that. Better chances of rain by Friday and Saturday.
Okay, Kevin, thanks.
And thank you for joining us this evening.
We'll see you again at 9 and 10.